Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. It's another episode of the good, the bad and the ugly. I'll leave it up to your own discretion to decide which one this is. You're certainly getting no spoilers from me. This replay was sent in by Holy God. That's him in the Pack 43 88mm gun equipped Jagdtiger Premium Tier 8 German tank destroyer. He's in a Tier 9 match here on Severogorsk. But despite the fact that Holy God is the one who sent this replay in, he doesn't actually feature in it too much. Instead, this is all about the supporting characters. Supporting characters like the T-34 one driver there, who's just had a really bad day. But switching back to Holy God for a moment. Initially, he gets himself into, well, I'm fond of saying a good news, bad news situation, but it isn't. It's more a sort of good news, bad news, and then even more bad news situation. He's managed to cover up his weak spots in the Jagdtiger 88, and he's able to get the gun over this rocky outcrop. There's a T-54 and an Su-122-44 on the other side. He has positioned the Jagdtiger very well. None of his weak spots are vulnerable. The only thing he's given these enemy tanks to shoot at is where all of his thickest armour is, his gun mantlet and his upper casement front. The T-54 was already bounced one armour-piercing shell fruitlessly off the front of his tank. He's not dumb enough to do that twice, however. Most of the fighting on this map has actually taken place, if you have a look at the map, over there on the eastern flank. But don't worry, we're going to see some of that in a moment. For now, we're just going to try to immobilise this T-54. He goes for the tracks, T-54 fires, repairs the tracks, backs off. T-54 actually did damage. He's firing high explosive. He's not doing an awful lot of damage with each shot. But all that Holy God is able to do is blow the T-54's tracks off. He's not actually doing any damage to him. And every time the T-54 pops out, he's doing another 180 damage here, 200 damage there, and he's able to whittle Holy God's health down, bit by bit. Rheinmetall Borzig, there with him, did manage to land one. Looked like on the T-54's turret. But he keeps popping out. And he keeps taking these shots with high explosive. And he keeps whittling his health down, bit by bit by bit. And the T-54 is quite happy to sit there tracked. He's in a strong position. Or so he thinks, because he hasn't been paying attention to the map, and an AMX 1375 has managed to sneak around, kill the artillery, and is now ready for a spot of double penetration. He's nailed the Su-122-44, puts a couple of shots into the T-54, backs off, T-54 panics, and artillery punches his ticket. So that was alright. They are actually winning 9-7. This side of the map is secure, and the enemy team on the other side of the map are completely encircled. But have a look at the minimap, down by H1. Can you see a tank destroyer moving? It's an Su-122-44. He's been hiding behind that mountain the entire game. We're now 5 minutes into the match, and this is the first time he's done anything. Remember him, we're going to see more of him later. Meanwhile, Holy God is moving down, because it looks like the enemy team, despite being encircled, are threatening to break out and push to the south, where they can get flanking fire and move through into the cap. So, nothing left to fight on the western side. Holy God comes back to defend the cap from the encircling enemy tanks. And it looks like we've got an STI and a T-28. The STI manages to catch one in the side of the turret from artillery, but he only takes minimal damage. And Holy God's first shot immobilises the STI without doing any damage, but now both of them start putting pretty effective return fire into him. Meanwhile, there's a very confused WZ-120 who doesn't really appear to know what it is he wants to do. There's an Object 432 disappearing around the rocks to his left, and you can see him thinking about going after him, and then realises actually no, I can get around behind these two, and then thinks no, I will go after the Object 430, and then keeps driving after the Object 430 while pointing his gun the wrong way, and oh, that didn't work out too well. Now, here's our friend in the SU-122-44, who's actually, that's the first shot he's fired this entire game. Puts a shot into the T-32, who's threatening the T-54E1, and then artillery finishes him off. The GW Tiger P player on this team was actually really, really good. T-54E1 comes around, exchanges fire with the STI. The penetration on the T-54E1's gun is not fantastic, but he manages to finish him off. Rheinmetall Borzig looking for the killing shot on the Conqueror, and he gets it, but suddenly a wild object 432 appears for a spot of surprise butt sex, and he probably didn't even use lube or wash his hands afterwards. This guy is now the last remaining player on his team. Artillery tries to kill him, but he's having none of that, and he's getting the hell out of there, breaking contact, zipping back, and he's going to lie up in ambush. Now the T-54E1 player has done pretty well. Artillery is pretty good. But this is the SU-122-44 that spent the first 5 minutes of this game sitting at H1, hiding behind a mountain, doing nothing. The team are trying to encourage him to get his arse in gear and stick together with the T-54E1. Time after time after time, I've seen players with the numerical advantage, when they're chasing down the last remaining enemy tanks, throw it all away by splitting up and not making use of superior numbers. Well, he eventually takes the hint and he moves up to join forces with the T-54E1. That 432, he's back there somewhere. And he's probably hiding in cover. And the first we know of him is probably going to be when somebody starts taking damage. Like that. And he managed to fire without giving his position away. There he is. They finally spotted him. So, switching to the T-54E1. It's 3-on-1. The 430 has now lost the advantage of surprise. We know exactly where he is, and we've got artillery. All we have to do is keep him spotted and not die. And we've won this. What's the SU-122 do? Would you like to get involved in this perhaps? Maybe, I don't know, go around the other side? No? Okay. Well, you just sit there. I'm sure we don't need you or anything. T-54E1 managed to score a single hit on the Object 432 before he went down. Now, SU-122-44, just spot him. All you have to do. Just detect him. If he wants to come up and around, he's going to climb to get to you. What are you doing? Okay, you found him. Back up. Don't die. Just spot him. Artillery is going to be reloading. You know, I don't really want to be too harsh about this SU-122. He's clearly a noob. He's completely outclassed by this Object 430 driver, and if it wasn't for the fact that the Object 430 had to worry about artillery as well, he would have probably done that at least 30 seconds ago. The T-54E1 driver stood a better chance of taking that guy out, but the Object 430 really didn't put a foot wrong. He used whatever cover was available from artillery. He managed to keep his tank in the lower ground, where he didn't have to worry about his crappy gun depression, and he could use his turret to bounce the shots from the T-54E1. He kept moving and darting in and out of cover to make it harder for artillery to hit him. He really did absolutely everything right. And now, of course, it's one-on-one, except one of them's Tier 9 artillery, and the other one's a Tier 9 medium. So, place your bets. How's this one going to end? Which team is going to win? This artillery player is good, and he only needs to hit. Well, he doesn't need to hit the Object 430 to kill him. Splash damage alone will do, he's on such low health. But this isn't an FV304, it's a GW Tiger P. This thing takes a long time to aim, and he's only going to get one chance. And then, plot twist. Oh, he's on fire. Oh, he's killed him. Oh, he's dead. 30 tanks entered, no tanks leave. Everybody loses, nobody wins. Now that's not something you see happen every day. Meanwhile, on Muravanka, AMX-12T driver, as you can see there, on Victor 707's team in the SU-100 was just about to push forward and start finding enemy tanks when they got surprised by a cheeky Hellcat. Now the Hellcat's lit everybody up on top of this hill. Victor's hiding behind the ridge while manoeuvring furiously, because he knew that was coming, manages to dodge artillery shot. The KV-1S, who saw a bright shiny Hellcat and charged forward to put a shot into him, has taken a couple of hits for his efforts. Everybody settles down now they're no longer in immediate danger of being lit up for artillery. And the KV-1S driver suddenly decides that he's Field Marshal Erwin Rommel and starts telling the AMX-12T how to do his job. The KV-2 driver weighs in with a closing argument in the shape of a 152mm shell. And how do you like them apples? Yeah, I've got the biggest gun, so you'll do as you're bloody told. Except you can't because you're dead. But hang on a minute, if might makes right, the M44 has an equally big gun. And how do you like them apples? That's right, now your argument is invalid. Now you do as you're told. Welcome to random battles in World of Tanks, where philosophical differences are settled by whoever has the biggest gun, or in the case of the M44 and the KV-2, whoever gets the next shot off and reloads faster. And that's going to be the M44. Artillery wins the argument. Except if you're on this team, nobody wins and everybody loses. Because dickheads. Well, you probably need a bit of cheering up after witnessing that rampant display of douchebaggery, but that's what the Joint Services ELC AMX Formation Flying Team is for. They really don't give a shit. Marvel at their death-defying stunts. Thrill as they tweak the nose of danger. These guys really didn't care. Watch this. This is one of the most fun replays I have ever seen in World of Tanks. And you can just tell by watching it how much fun these guys were having. They go screaming to the top of the hill here on the new Sacred Valley map. And then for some reason they all get a bit shy and bashful, and it all turns into, well, you first. No, you first. No, after you. No, I insist. But they soon overcome their natural stage fright. And off they go, in search of an audience. Tier 5 French light tanks, and this is only a Tier 7 game, and there's 3 of them in a platoon. Oh, this is going to be glorious. Okay, ELC number 1 has elected to go for a spot of mountaineering, and managed to get away without killing himself, and oh look, they found an M6 to perform for. Oh good, well take your seat, enjoy the show, here it comes. This poor guy, look at him, look at that big stupid heavy tank trying to turn his big stupid turret around in time. It's never going to happen. Hello, here's another big stupid heavy tank. Well, we'll use you as cover from that other big stupid heavy tank while we zip around. Can you just imagine how much fun these guys were having? Now, I said they were having fun. I didn't say they were particularly smart. Look. No, ELCs, no. Stick together. Don't spread apart. Don't share the fun. Deliver it in concentrated doses. Look at them. They just don't care. Alright, chaps. You've had your fun. We're one ELC down now. It's time to start taking this seriously. What do you mean, no? Alright, we're going up this way. Okay. Okay, we'll go this way then. I don't know if you caught it in chat, by the way, but the Joint Services Formation ELC AMX flying team was being heckled by a Cromwell on the enemy team who didn't appreciate their performance. And there he is. He's determined to catch them. Yeah, good luck with that. But he's coming around after them. Now, don't worry, we'll see him again later. Oh, look! They've spotted an M41. A theatre critic. Nobody likes theatre critics. Get him! It doesn't matter that there's a T-29 with him, just get him! And he is actually going to ram the artillery and kill the T-29 and the 12T, and suddenly they're down to 1 ELC, but that was totally worth it. I mean, it wasn't. It was the kind of stupid stunt. 9 times out of 10 would get you killed, but when you get away with it, it's just, well, it's like this. It's glorious. Oh, another theatre critic. I didn't like his last review. Let him know what you think. I say, good sir, I wish to take issue with your review of my last performance. Oh look, and there's the heckler in the Cromwell, who's paying absolutely no attention whatsoever, although to be fair, he is kind of busy with an M4. Actually no, let's not be fair, he's a heckler, let's kill him. I say, you there, try this on for size, good sir. Yes, that'll teach you not to interrupt the performance in future. Right, now. Right then, what are we doing for an encore? Spot of T1 Heavy, I think. Jolly good, yes, he'll do. Hey you, big stupid heavy tank, look over here. Over here. Over here. Yeah, you should have been looking over there. Oh man, this was just such an epic game. But there's still one paying member of the audience left. There's a KV-2. Strong tank, made in Russia. No sense of humour whatsoever. Tough crowd. Never tips his waitress. We got to find the big bugger first. Where is he? He's around here somewhere. God knows where. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's going for the M6. Quick, we should distract him with some quick-fire jokes. I say, my wife's gone to the West Indies. Jamaica? No, she went of her own accord. Dash it, these Russians are a tough crowd. I say, my mother-in-law's gone to St. Petersburg. Is she Russian? No, she's taking her time. Thank you, you've been wonderful. I'm here all week. Try the fish, and don't forget to tip your waitress.